data transfer in between the sessions. Okay, so data transfer between the sessions, that means when a ABAP program, this is one ABAP program, is going to get execute, then you can have, you know, the different internal session in a single ABAP program. Okay, this is, let's suppose from ABAP program, this is your ABAP program. Under this ABAP program, you are calling ABAP program 2, and maybe one another this ABAP program 2 is calling the ABAP program 3. Okay, let's assume like this. Okay, it's going to call like this. So here, if you can see, ABAP program 1 is calling to ABAP program 2, ABAP program 2 is calling to ABAP program 3. If it is going to happen in the same session, same ABAP session, then it's easy to transfer the data from one session to another system, like from one program to another program, and then this program using export, you know, let's suppose some internal table you are having IT underscore Mara to memory ID, like that, you know, you can define some memory ID and you can pass to this data over here. And again, you can use the import IT underscore Mara, okay, from memory ID AB. That means if this value over here, you can write in this ABAP program 1, and in ABAP program 2, you can write this import statement. So what it will do, that it will fetch the value from the shared ABAP memory and get the data over here in this program. But before that, you'll have to export. Okay, so let's go and see how it is done. So we are going to create one program, JIC memory test. Test 1. This is the first program. Click on this create button and ABAP memory test program 1. Save this one and save it in the local object and fetch some data. Select matner mtart matkl from Mara into @data IT underscore Mara up to 20 rows. And this IT underscore Mara, you want to get into different program. Okay, so you are going to export this one. Export. Let's see the syntax. Press F1. So export to memory, right? You can see here export to memory. However, it has been obsolete, right? Obsolete syntax. right? So export to memory and import to memory. However, it has been obsolete. Still, people use, and if you want, you can use, but better than this, like the recommended technique we are having. I will show you that also. So if you know that technique, supposed to use that one, because this is now SAP not recommending, right? So export IT underscore Mara to memory ID. Let's suppose just define some memory ID over here, right? This should be unique. This memory ID should be unique in in a single, program. Okay, so just I'm giving ABC over here. So if the same program is there, incorrect nesting into table, you have to give it over here. So we are exporting this internal table data into this ABAP memory. So this is your ABAP memory. This syntax is for ABAP memory. What is ABAP memory? ABAP memory is going to transfer the data, within a single ABAP session. So this ABAP session should be one. ABAP session should be under the single ABAP session. If you have multiple internal session, there is no point. There is one internal session, another is two, this is three. Means in one ABAP session, if you are having the multiple program connected with each other, you can use this ABAP memory. Okay, you can use this ABAP memory. So in the same, import IT underscore Mara from memory ID ABC. So here, let's suppose you'll have to give, like, if you are getting the data, you'll have to put somewhere, right? You check the syntax over here, there is no problem. So what you can do that, this I'm going to just make a, so going to define like a shortcut. Okay, so data IT underscore Mara copy and IT underscore Mara. Clear IT underscore Mara underscore copy. So now there is no data, and in this I'm going to get the data over here so that I can show you. So it's the single ABAP memory, how this export and import is going to get work, right? So let's activate this one, activate this, put the breakpoint over here and press F8. So we are selecting some data in IT underscore Mara, 20 records is there, right? IT Mara copy, right? There is no data, it's blank. And exporting this IT underscore Mara, where we have the 20 records into this memory ID, got exported successfully, say C0, right? Import, we are importing from this ABC. Currently IT Mara copy, you can see that it's a 0. We are expecting it to have the 20 records, right? And you can see that IT Mara copy is having the 20 records, right? So under the same ABAP memory, under the same session, you can see that how we are getting the data. So here in the same program, it is not required because already data is there in this internal table. But sometimes what you will have to do that, if you have some another program, let's suppose the program number 2, click on this create button. And this is your program 2 for memory testing. Okay. executable, click on the save button, local object. And here in this program, if you want to have this IT underscore memory data, right? So then how to do, correct? So first, again, like you will have to define the same structure, right? So let's quickly define here. Types begin of, give the name of the types, ts underscore mara, begin of ts underscore mara, then a matner type, matner, then mtart type mtart, and then matkl type matkl, end of ts underscore mara, data it underscore mara type table of ts underscore mara. So one internal table here we have, so let me give some different name. All right, maybe it's going to import the value from there. Okay, and this this is, we can put it exporting like that. No? So now let's comment this. This is not required. Okay, this all is not required. So it underscore mara underscore, oh, correct. So this is the internal table, right? This is the internal table. Sorry, it's E internal table. This data I'm exporting from here to this memory ID, and from here I'll be getting that data into and this one. So what's the syntax? Syntax is this one, right? Just copy this. Same syntax, you can use it over here. Import this value and here, just put it over here. IT underscore mara I, right? IT underscore mara I, this internal table. So in this program, I'm getting from here to here this data from this memory. Check the syntax. Some error is there. Let's see what's the error. Okay, we have to write it other way around. So import okay, now check the syntax and there is no problem, right? Activate this one, activate this one. So this program you are calling from here, right? So how you can call? Submit in this program and return. Okay, and then just use the breakpoint. Check the syntax, activate this, activate this. This also let's go and activate. Okay, and fine. So here we are going to do this, and here maybe loop at or simply I want to show you that from one program to another program, how you are going to display the data. So here, this is the data I want to display, right? Check this, activate this one, activate this one. So I'm going to run this one. The display things I have written it over here, right? Let's run it. Put the breakpoint, and I will show you in debugging also, right? Export is already done. Press F5. So when you write the submit and return, it works in the same ABAP session. It will create another internal session, but the main, this will be having the main single ABAP session only. One internal session, another internal session, another internal session, three different internal session using the submit statement you are creating. But the ABAP session is going to remain single only. Three different internal session, but single main ABAP session. So just press F5 over here, and control has come over here, right? So import. Now in this there is a 0 record, right? So you're going to import from here to here, right? From this memory ID, same memory ID you'll have to use, and 0. And here you can see that the 20 records has come successfully, right? And if you press F6, see this, we are able to get the record. And again control, because the return statement we are using, it's coming back. Now some important point over here. Let's suppose if you are not going to use this return statement, if you give only the full stop over here, activate this one, let's put the breakpoint and see whether it's going to work or not. Okay, so the same thing is going to work or not. What's your thought on this? Just type yes or no over here in this chat box. Okay, and we'll see here whether it's going to work or not. Praveen is telling yes. Okay, so similarly you can just be interactive and type yes or no. There is no right or wrong answer. Okay, come here, export is done, and see here, just observe that I have not written return statement. Okay, so when you are going to press F5, right, just see here and see here, and IT underscore Mara underscore I still is going to give you the 20 records, right? So even you are not using the return statement, that means now the session, this session is going to be executed separately from the first. So internal session got separated, still it's going to work fine. Now if you close this one, it will not go back basically, because return statement we have not written, correct? So here the control has not come in the main program, right? But what we have seen that it's working fine, there is no problem, right? This is one point. But let's suppose, okay, if you want to uh, execute this program in background. Okay, if you want to execute this program in background, so let's see what's the syntax to execute in background. Press F1 and come here, list options, job options, submit, report, and run. That is okay. Where job number, and this user. So we'll just take it from here, copy this complete code, so if you want to run in background first, you'll have to use this function module. Okay, and see, exporting parameter, this job test, the name of the job, right, which we create through the SM36 transaction, right? Job monitoring we do in SM37, right, /so SM37. And here, see, these are the jobs, right? So these jobs manually also you can create by going into the transaction SM36, or from here also maybe you'll be having the option to create the job, right? Here we don't have, but /n SM36, you can go and create the job. Okay, so job name and all you can give it. Then you can define the start condition, right? Steps, the programs which you want. So you know already like how to create the job and all, but the programmatically, if you have to create the job, what you will have to do, you have to call this function module job open, and generally we use a job close also. However, if you don't close automatically, it will be closed, but it's good to use this function module, right? If you have the big program and further processing you are supposed to do, so better, you know, you'll have to close the function module once you create the job. And this is the syntax to create the job. Okay, so you got the basic idea what we are going to do. This function module to open, this is to create the job with the submit statement, and then the job close, right? So now let's go and execute this program in background. Okay, so I'm going to comment this one, that program already have uh, you know copied, and just put it over here. This is their program, just will have to replace with our program to SAP spool, that is fine. Spool parameters, print parameters, that is fine. See here, print parameters, they have defined this parameter. Okay, without a spool dinpro, that is fine. Via job, the name of the job, they have defined this one. Okay, number, the job number, so it will basically give you the number. Okay, it will give you the number once like you submit this job. This parameter will be having the job number, and the job name we are passing. Okay, so maybe I'm going to give the job name Innercircle, inner IC memory test, IC memory. So this program we are calling in background, and we are trying to display the output. All right, so it looks good now, but before that, let's run that job and see whether we are independently getting the correct data or not over here, as we are getting the correct output or not, so that we will be able to test. Okay, so I'm going to get some data first. Simply I'm going to put it, copy this and paste it over here, and we are going to use this internal table. Put it here, internal table, check this one, right? And activate this for a while we can comment. Okay, let's run this one in background. So let's give see here if we get some option to run in background. Background is there, click on this background. Variant name is not required, run now. Started as background job. So now we are going to see into the SM37. Go to SM37, give this one, and job is finished. Click and see the output. Okay, so you can see that the output is coming over here, right? Good, the output is coming. So what basically we are trying to do, if we run that program here in the background, the output should come, right? So let's go and check it out. Check the syntax over here. The statement authorization is invalid, just comment that, check this and activate this. just activate. Okay, and now uh, however, there is no meaning of this export statement, just we are checking whether this program is working correctly or not, right? And then I will show you what basically I'm trying to tell you. Then press F8 and here press F6, job open, size server C0, that is very good. Submit a statement, press F6 and now we start of selection and all that is fine. Call function, job close. This got successfully submitted, right? 0, there is no problem, so got successfully submitted. And if you want to see the name of the job number, it will be where job, this is the number. I think this is a spool number gets generated, or maybe job number. We will just check it. Let me note it down. So Control V. Okay, and here we are going to close that. Okay, so fine. Now we will go to the SM30C7 and we will try to see the same kind of output we are supposed to have from the program. Also it should have, just refresh this and there is no job, right, scheduled. So let me check it once again. There is no job got successfully created and we have to check it out. Why? Do you know why? The job name we have given different, right? So we have to check it with this name basically. So that's why. So let's give this job name, and this job name has been successfully created, right? So the name we have given basically the different name, so it has created with a different name. So no problem, name is different. If we don't give any name, it will create by default with the program name. Okay, so click on this spool and see over here, and you can see that the output is coming perfectly over here. Okay, so fine, the testing is now successful. Now I will show you the problem. So come here and go into that program, the second program, and remove this select statement. Okay, remove this select statement. So what I want to do now, when you are calling through the job, many times you will come across this kind of requirement where the main program is going to schedule another program in the background, and you would require to transfer the data from one program to another program, right? So let me close unnecessary session to avoid the confusion. So what we are going to do here, we have going to remove all these things, right? So we have here some data from the Mara table into this internal table, and from this internal table, you know, we are exporting the data into this ID. And what we're trying to do, that we want to get this the data from here to here in this program, and this program is going to get executed in background. When we were calling through submit in foreground, it was working fine, we have seen, right? We all have seen over here. But when we are going to call in background, let's see the impact. Okay, whether you are going to get the data or not. What do you think? Are you going to get the data or not? Just type here yes or no, right? Yes or no, what do you think? Right, let's see. So I'm going to press F8 this time and see, we are getting the data over here. Very good, thank you Dhaneshwar for giving the answer. Let's go and verify, right, whether the answer is correct or not. So you have told that yes. Let's see whether it's going to, you know, get the data or not, right? So in background, when you are going to execute, see here, the background job is now, you know, done, created, closed, and that's fine, right? So that job, the second instance of that job would have been created and got executed also. Go to SM37 and run it, and just give the job name, and we will take the latest job. Which one is the latest job? This one is the latest job, 7/15/01. Let's go and check out. It's a spool. Okay, and you can see that there is no data, right? You are passing the data from there to here, but there is no data coming over here. All right, why? The reason behind that, you know, the ABAP memory concept works only when if you are there in the single ABAP session. When you are going to create the job from one program to another program, what basically happens that this is your main ABAP program one, the ABAP program one, which is this one. This one is ABAP program one. So this program one is calling the second program. So when it was calling in the foreground using the submit statement, right, there was no problem. But in background, when it is calling, it's creating the different ABAP session, So when it calls in the foreground, it works in the same ABAP session. But when it gets called into the, when one program calls a second program in background, right, then it gets executed in a different ABAP session via batch process, right? Background work process, correct? Background work process. Background work process is also known as batch process. Basic people will tell batch process. That if they are going to tell batch process, you should understand they are talking about the background, work process. Okay. So that's the reason it's that your import export is not working over here. Okay, that is the reason it's not working. Then how to deal with this situation, right? Here we are exporting the data, and here we are sorry, we have not written this import statement, right? Let's enable this one and check it once again, right? It is not enabled. So let's first enable and check it out once again. Right now it's active. It was not enabled, then obviously it will not get it. But even it is enabled, then also we are expecting that now it will not display. Why? Because this program is getting executed in background. Okay, so let's quickly run this one. Press F8, got executed. Now come here and just go back and refresh it. This is the latest one. Come here, click on this spool, run this, and here also you can see that it's a not like you don't have any spool over here. The timing is 17:18, right? The last one 17:18. So we got verified that that is not working. How to do this? How to tackle this situation? How to tackle this situation? See, set parameter you have, but set parameter ID and get parameter ID here, it will not deal with the internal table. You can use the SAP memory, but set parameter ID and get parameter ID is not suitable for this requirement. It will not work. Okay. Then what? In such scenario, what you can do that there is a concept called cluster memory data. So in that, you can use again the export statement, export it underscore mara underscore e to database, I'm just missing the syntax. Let me quickly check it out. Press F1. So this one, export to this medium, that is fine. To memory ID, this is the not one. Export, import tables. And this is to delete. Okay. Export to database, this is fine. Just looking for the syntax. This one, okay. This one, this is the syntax which I'm looking for. So here, let's copy this and close this one. Paste it. So now export this internal table it underscore mara underscore e. Copy this one, paste it this over here, and here this import arm underscore mara underscore tab. Some name I have given, so this value you are passing to this SAP memory of this one. So actually we cannot tell SAP memory. Saying SAP memory is not a good idea, means this is not the good term. We can tell that this internal table is getting saved in this particular table of this DB. Okay, so this is one technique which we can use. Okay, from WA, no, I'm doing some mistake actually. This is the demo index below. This I'm not looking for. I'm looking for index DB. That is a simple one. Let me just check it quickly. Export database obsolete. DB tab. Shared memory to database to database. There is a memory called index DB. Yeah, this one I'm looking for. Okay, so almost syntax is same, right? Syntax is almost same. Let's see how we can use that one. Okay, so I've copied that and export, and here actually you'll have to use INDX. So this is a table. INDX is nothing but a table, and this is your key. So one key I'm going to create with IC Innercircle key. Anything you can give based upon your choice, make sure that this key is not there already in this table. INDX is a table already created in the uh, system INDX. This is a cluster table, system table index. Okay, come here, and if you run this, see here, that value, this actually we are giving that 2-character name. Just you will have to give the 2-character name over here. If you check out its description, region in import or export data table. Okay, and this is the user defined key table in index. There are other things, but your actual data is going to be stored over here. Cluster ID. Here your data is going to get export, and everything will be taken care by import and export stuff. So let me first show you. Okay, so this memory ID giving any 4 characters a letter. So demo, let it be like demo only. There is no problem. Just IC should not be already there in that table. Okay, so let's go and verify. There is no value called IC over there, right? So it is safe to use IC. And now what you can do that, go into the second program, and here you write it like this. Instead of import, you'll have to instead of export, you'll have to give the import. And Scar, I'm going to change this one, EX tab, just giving this name EX tab. And here this data I'm passing, right? So from the program I'm passing this data, so just correcting the name and all. I missed to correct, right? So EX underscore tab in this data, in this table, we have the data coming over here. So putting this, and here already internal table we have defined, copy it and put it over here. And instead of 2, you have to write the from database, and that's it. So because you are there in the 2 different ABAP session, this syntax is going to work. You don't have to use the export memory and all those things. Okay, it will not work. You have to require a database table. So this is a database table. Basically, this is a cluster table. You can see that this is a system table index, and data is going to get stored in the LRAW format. Okay, data is going to get stored in the LRAW format. So even like, you can have the multiple internal table together, you can pass, and there you can get it in the second program. Now just activate this one and run this, and let's see the output now, how it's going to come. So this time we are expecting to display the output. Let's refresh this one, and the 4th one is this one, and here we are expecting to have the output. Just click on this spool, and you can see here that your output has come. That means it's working fine, right? This is working fine. So this is the concept about the handling the data from external session, like handling the data between 2 internal sessions. Okay, handling the data between 2 internal sessions. So hope you got this idea, like how to do this one. And another thing what I want to share with you, that because this technology is obsolete, we have just seen that obsolete, but it's still like people use this one. But better than this, we have a class based concept. Okay, so how to get the data from one program to another program in a different session, or even like if you have the same session also, this import export is now obsolete, this one, right? This one is now obsolete. So this is, however, is not required for this requirement. This export is going to work, right? There is no meaning of this one, right? So this is also obsolete, and this way is also obsolete, right? But like if you want to do your development is little, you have to complete it very fast, or if you are creating some test program, maybe you can use this one because still it supports. But like if you are working in the actual productive scenario, I would suggest you to using the class approach, using the class approach. So you'll have to create a class, okay? And in that, let's go and create one class. So /n zcl memory handling, something like that, okay? Create memory handling, click on this save button and click on this save button. Go to the properties and make sure that you have enabled this shared memory. If enabled, just save this one, check the syntax and activate this. Now here you have to use one important interface, okay? So what I would suggest you go through a blog, okay? SHMA memory, this is the T code SHMA. Simply you type SHMA, you will get one blog over here. How to use shared object memory and SAP memory to share the object for processing in SAP with example, right? So read out these blocks, you will get good idea. This is the interface which we have to use it. And in next inner circle call, I will show you, but before that, just go through this one. This is the way little steps are involved, but this is what the recommended by SAP, okay? And other blocks also you'll be able to see. Shared here, shared memory sharing objects across programs. Just check it out, and you will find many blocks. So just go through the different blocks and try to understand how you can get the data from one session to another session. This is the important T code, right? Today we are approaching towards 6, and if I start, it will take another half an hour minimum, okay? So let's stop it over here. Today is Sunday also, so better just go and enjoy and go through these blocks, and I will be showing you also how you can use this class concept in order to get the data and uh, pass the data from one program to another program. So you have many blocks. See here, this is also one block. Just go and check it out. So let's develop the habit to read the blogs and learn from there, because there are so many things from the are there in the blogs, and these are the very good source for learning.